All right, hello, senior seminar. It's Dr. Welch, and here is the belated, forgive me for that, video on how to record your proposal presentation. And like I said, I'll add a couple of days to the due date for this, and the one person who has already submitted. If this changes your mind on how to approach your recording, I honestly have not watched it. Feel free to go back and re-record and resubmit. So let me jump right over here, and I'm using Zoom, and I want to go in here and share my screen with you, which when I do this, if you move your cursor down to the bottom of the screen, you get this little pop-up menu, and it shows you different things like share screen, where you go to mute and unmute. And so it is a great way to do a quick video capture at a small file size, which is one of the reasons why I really like using Zoom. My computer is going through and verifying absolutely everything today. So, all right, enough, go away. All right, let's just close that out and I'll mess with it later. So what I want to show you first is here's the assignment that you're doing. And like I said, traditionally this is done in class where each student would stand up for about 5 to 7 minutes and give a quick proposal presentation, which is a sales pitch. Think of yourself as sitting in front of a board of directors of a funding agency, and you're arguing why the research you have proposed to do should be funded. That's what you're doing with this video. And since we are an asynchronous online class, we've got to record them and then go back and watch them. And so think of this as something, if you've watched Shark Tank, this is your pitch to the millionaires, to the funders. And it's very similar. It's not going to be as cutesy or as kitschy, but it's going to be very similar in terms of some background information, your purpose, in the case of a scientific proposal, your hypothesis, a little bit of how you're going to do it, your methods, and then why it's important with that significance. So those are your components of this. You have 5 minutes to convince us that your proposal should be funded. And as I've already stated, you need to include some background information, the purpose, if you have a hypothesis in your proposal, a brief summary of the methods, and then lastly, and most importantly, that significance of why it is important, and you're trying to convince your funders that you indeed can do the research. So this is something you're going to do in your career with any new idea that you put forth, whether it is a research proposal or a way to modify a protocol in a lab in which you work. It's just, you have to be able to convince people that you can do things quite frequently in most of your different career types or arenas. And so this is a critical skill, is what I'm trying to say. I don't expect everybody to go out there and write research proposals in your future, but you definitely will use the skills that you've obtained here in assignment 3 in your future careers. So once I get these in from everybody, everyone's going to have 4 of these proposal presentations to watch and to critique, and I'll get the rubric up for that later on this week. Um, all right, so what the ways that you can do this? What I would do in your shoes is everyone has access to PowerPoint, and I would make yourself some notes basically on PowerPoint slides. I think this is the easiest way to do this. And it's the way most students have done it face to face in class in the past. If you don't want to fight with PowerPoint and you're going to be doing your recording within Zoom, you can do this as a Microsoft Word document. And what you can also do, as you know, in a Microsoft Word document is pop in some images. So for once, I put a background on this. I am not a big background person in lectures. With PowerPoint, just because the backgrounds can be so distracting. But if there is a background that is appropriate for your topic and you feel like using it, go for it. If you don't, it's okay. But what I would recommend is what you're seeing here, a 2-slide file. You're more than welcome to do more, but I wanted to emphasize you can do this very simply. You want to have a slide that has your proposal title, your name, go ahead and put the class on there. And then what I would do, and this was actually the title slide layout for this particular background, is put a very brief summary of the significance on here. And just it's a quick way to say, here's what I'm going to be telling you and why it's important. And then on your second slide of this presentation, you can put the required components of this presentation. Your background information, obviously this is going to be bullet points. You're only going to take, at most 5 minutes to do this. So it can just simply be bullet points. You want your purpose, you want your hypothesis, if there is one in your study. You want a summary of the methods that you will use to meet the purpose and test a hypothesis, and then again, the whole thing of significance. And that's it. So those of you that really like to have some notes to be able to guide your speaking, go with PowerPoint or go with Microsoft Word. If you're using Word, you're going to do your recording in something like Zoom. The other power here, though, of PowerPoint is once you get your slides, and please don't spend a lot of time on this, stick to the content rather than the appearance of the slides, if you will. They don't need to be really pretty. They need to be highly functional is what the important thing is. But if you go up here, now of course I'm working on a Mac, where you find this on a PC, maybe a little bit different. But if you go up here to insert and you go down here to audio, and you go down here to record audio, you can do your recording right here within PowerPoint. And so all you would do is click start recording. I'm not going to do it because we would get feedback between Zoom and PowerPoint if I try and do this all in one video. But let me scoot my face out of the way. This is just literally click it and you go through and do your slides. And so it's a matter of, it will let you change your slides as you're going through this. And I believe, let's see here. I have not played with this in terms of, I think what I would do, and I would be fine with it, is just leave it in this this layout right here, where you can do your recording and go through and change your slides with a click over here. But when you play it in presentation mode, it is just going to have the slide full screen and with your voice overlaid on top of each one of those slides. So that's it for this assignment. Do not agonize this assignment. Do not, this is one of these assignments. One of my tricks in college was to say, okay, this part of this assignment is 25% of the total grade on assignment 3. So I'm going to put no more than 30 minutes to an hour into doing this. So I would sit down and put my slides together. Once I was happy with my slides, I would do that recording and be done with it, and get that MP4 file submitted. If you record in PowerPoint, you have a trouble converting it to an MP4, go ahead and put it up as a PPTX, and I will deal with the conversion. So that's it. You've almost totally survived assignment 3. It's all downhill from here. The details of assignment 4 are coming next. Hope y'all are having a great day. It's wet and yucky outside, so it's a good day to kind of like close the blinds, turn on lots of lights in the room like I've got on, and get a lot of your work done. Talk to you later.